FG meditation is an innovative and effective method which is free from the ideological attachments of other meditative methods. This method was abbreviated as FG meditation for Farshad's Geometric Meditation and created by Farshad Nazaraghaei. With a breath you are in ordinary ignorance state, you would find the beloved worthless. With a breath you are in egoless rapture state, would you need the beloved? With a breath you are in ordinary ignorance state, you would be the prey of a mosquito. With a breath you are in egoless rapture state, an elephant would be your prey. With a breath you are in ordinary ignorance state, you would be covered by a cloud of sorrow. With a breath you are in egoless rapture state, the moon would sit by you. With a breath you are in ordinary ignorance state, the beloved would draw apart. With a breath you are in egoless rapture state, sweetheart's wine would pour forth. If you are suffering from worry, rumination, anxiety or distress, and other intrusive thoughts, you can use meditative metaphors that teach you some metacognitive strategies and how to encounter your thoughts and regulate them. As a result, confidently and peacefully perform FGM. Here, we provide you a summary of description of each spontaneous and intrusive mental process. What is worry? The slow conceptual or rational process includes thinking of and contemplating almost new events in the future and the solutions to cope with them. Another description. Worry is a chain of negative verbal thoughts with the aim of problem solving. What is rumination? An intellectual or conceptual processing which leads to understand reasons behind sadness and to find a way of coping with negative and distressed thoughts and feelings. Composed of dangerous and threatening subjects refer to the future, while rumination includes incompetence, failure, and inadequacy refers to the past. However, both include recurrent thoughts to cope with negative emotions and are provoked by internal events such as intrusive thoughts and negative emotions. Although obsessive thoughts, considered involuntary and unrealistic, show themselves as transient images, desires and impulses, worry and rumination, considered voluntary and realistic, appear as an internal dialogue. A proper way to deal with encountering worry, rumination, obsession, anxiety, and other negative emotions is based on a metacognitive method called Detached Mindfulness Meditation. This meditation means observing the flow of thoughts and memories that appear spontaneously in the mind. The goal is not engaging with thoughts, memories, and emotions actively, but observing autonomous events or lack of such events in our awareness. With the help of this method, an individual knows how to face the internal events in a new and effective manner. Do not analyze, control, appraise, or judge your thoughts. Do not engage with sensory issues. Do not contemplate your thoughts. Do not extend the mental processes, including analogy, induction, inference, interpretation, reasoning, argument, correlation, analysis, and conclusion. The aim is to use this strategy while facing negative thoughts and emotions. Detach yourself from the mental events and passively observe what is happening to your mind and body. The problem is that when individuals become involved in worry, rumination, obsession, and anxiety, they take the negative mental and emotional change seriously and expand it. But you must separate yourself from such an intrusive process with a technique based on detached mindfulness meditation to deprive negative thoughts and feelings of their permanent feeding source, the gravity of your attention created by the sense of I as a center of existence. Just in such a delicate metacognitive strategy, negative thoughts and emotions become weaker and weaker, and you will be able to overcome them. Meditative metaphors help you to achieve this skill based on detached mindfulness meditation. Passing cloud metaphor. Observe how worry clouds, independent of your willpower and spontaneously, appear and pass in your mental skyline, and then how they disappear. Be aware of thunders caused by worry clouds that sometimes fall on your body as unpleasant and intrusive emotions, and also be aware of a rain of mercy falling on you with pleasant emotions. Worry waters are running very fast through the chute of your mental waterfall and river. Cinema metaphor. Observe your internal events when you face worry, rumination, and other intrusive circumstances as phenomena that seem independent of you, which occur on your mental movie screen. Flying eagle metaphor. Note that your attention and awareness eagle must fly over your thoughts' birds. If the birds of your thoughts fly over your attention eagle, you must immediately raise up over them as you can see them under your open wings. Running train metaphor. Observe a worry train passing fast before you and moving away with a series of intrusive thoughts wagons, and finally disappears as a point in your internal visual realm. Sometimes find yourself in a train of mental events as a passenger running towards dystopia, and when you get off the train, you will eventually be aware where you are. Look at the thoughts monkeys leaping and bounding on top of the trees of your mind. Do not try to catch them, but observe their leaps and bounds. Once you find yourself in worry and rumination pit, get out of the hole immediately and go on walking. Observe emotional clouds moving fast in your mental sky. Observe your mood as moon passing more slowly than emotional clouds through and behind them. Observe your intrusive as well as pleasant excitement as a rainbow appearing after a spring rain in your mental sky horizon from far distance for a short time, and then it will disappear. Peacock imagination metaphor. Imagine how the temporary obsessive pictures and thoughts attract you as a peacock while you are focusing on a subject. This peacock suddenly opens its beautiful feathers in front of you and closes them after a short period of time. See worry and rumination waves clashing the coast in the ocean of your mind at a time of high water. However, then they will move away and settle down while ebbing. Observe the dandelions of your vein, and useless thoughts are peeking from your attention stem and moving away from your center of attention. Observe your mental birds appearing in the sky of your mind from far distance and moving away from you. Do not try to catch them, but remain as a pure observer. Observe thoughts fishes in the ocean of your mind coming to the surface from the depth and freely swim fast here and there, and then return back to the underside of your mind. Now, as you have learned from those meditative metaphors, simply stay in as a detached observer of your own thoughts and look how they are going away from the center of your attention. Sheikh Muhammad Lahiji says as the following: You know, when you detach yourself from the body, your ears and nose will become your eyes. The king who was sweet-spoken told the truth when he said, mystics' ears will become their eyes. Attention seems to drive to the frontal lobes in a deep meditative state in order to have deep concentration. In this stage, you can use the following steps. Initially, dark or dim background appears behind the eyelids and in front of the forehead. Then, develop attention on the half-dark or fully dark background towards all dimensions as the left, right, up and down, behind, and then throw your attention to the depth of dark space. It will adjust and fix your attention in front of you and will direct it to the depth of dark space. To set your attention as to penetrate the depth of the dark space, accelerate the process with the help of a spiral which is conical shaped as its base superposes to the front of your forehead and its apex is in the depth of the dark space, and draw the spiral from outside to the center. To facilitate the spiral forming easily, move eyeballs in clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction and trace forming of a spiral. Let your attention draw to the spiral circles and move towards the depth of dark space with these circles. Here, some different kinds of association may appear with the forming of a spiral, and your attention may draw inside the spiral so that the associations accelerate its formation and movement. These associations are like moving inside a tunnel, cave, or along a river or a path. If different images, shapes, pictures, and colors appear at the end or middle, and then the tunnel structure disappears, remain as a conscious observer and look at them without being involved in the content or process. A circular form expands outside while inhaling, and then it contracts towards the center between the eyebrows while exhaling. Be aware of the cones forming from the space between the eyebrows inside the forehead while inhaling and expanding outside while exhaling. To settle your attention in the depth of dark space is the time to surrender attention to the depth of dark space and to let the attention progress towards limitless and boundless directions. Move your attention on the flow direction and reverse to the first spiral movement. Draw the spiral conical form from inside the center between the eyebrows to outside, so its radius develops towards its base while moving to the depth of the dark space. However, the base of the spiral never ends and it expands towards infinity. It seems that the more active the upper part of the cerebral cortex is, the more your attention is drawn to the fontanel as superposing the end of longitudinal symmetry line of the body. Here, you also find yourself in the darkest space located in the upper part of your head, and finally, surrender your attention to reverse the spiral movement of attention until you become one with unboundedness and immensity and the path of infinite quality. One of the devout, who had deeply plunged his head into the cowl of meditation and had been immersed in the ocean of visions, was asked when he had come out of that state by one of his companions who had desired to cheer him up, "What beautiful gift hast thou brought us from the garden in which thou hast been?" He replied, "I intended to fill the skirts of my robe with roses. When I reached the rose tree as presents for my friends, but the perfume of the flowers intoxicated me so much that I let go the hold of my skirts." Hafiz Shirazi mentioned as the following: "No veil covers the face of the beloved. Clear the road dust from your internal realm to see her, to find the solution of the virtue of presence and the order of matters. Come and follow the grace of the man of wisdom." Different definitions of mindfulness meditation. 1. Bringing all attention to experience the present time moment by moment. 2. Attending in a specific and purposeful manner, focused on the present time without assessing or making judgments. 3. A kind of awareness without assessment, making judgment and interpretation pertinent to the present time, in which any thoughts and physical sensations or emotions within the scope of your attention are admitted as they are. 4. Regulating of your attention on your own volition, so that your attention is focused on the current experience, and it promotes the recognition of all your present mental events. 5. Directing your experience to the present time, which is eagerly accepted. 6. Bringing your attention consciously to the thoughts, emotions, feelings, and internal stimulus as it leads to the formation of metacognitive skills which control our concentration. First, follow the vocal stimulus through the left auditory canal and focus on each sound for a short period of time, and then follow sounds through the right auditory canal. Now, direct your attention in an orderly way from the soles of your feet to the skins on your head, and observe different feelings and sensations inside your body. Then, simply attend to the thoughts, and mental events and remain as a detached observer. Similarly, repeat the second cycle by bringing your attention to the body, sounds, body again, and mental events. With the help of pendular movement of attention, you can evaluate and examine the location and the level of dependence and attachment of your attention, as well as the holes of mental, physical, and emotional problems devouring your attention. The more your attention tends to a subject or a location, the stronger the indication that your attention is trapped, engaged, and preoccupied would be with that subject or atmosphere. If more than one technique of geometric concentrations mentioned before is used in one session, it is defined as mixed geometric concentrations. Such a meditation is composed of several stages of breathing holds. In these techniques, you may use one of the previous meditations to perform each stop breathing stage, or you may simply progress with each concentration to achieve a relative breathing hold, and then may change the direction of the attention movement and concentration. In FG meditation, there are a number of mixed concentrations that one may select. Choose the one that is more proper and consistent with your temperament and feelings according to your experience and assessment. Here, we briefly mention some main formulas of mixed concentrations. It is necessary to consider transposition in mixing of FG meditation techniques. Some of the main combinations in this kind of meditation are as the following: mixing of linear concentrations, hyperbolic concentrations, surface concentrations, three-dimensional concentrations, linear hyperbolic, surface, and three-dimensional concentrations. The period of doing each meditation in FG meditation would be 20 to 45 minutes. In order to achieve good results in FG meditation, it would be better to practice meditations regularly every day at a specific time. In case of using mixed concentrations, the practice would extend up to 1 hour. Mullah Hadi Sabzevari emphasizes the breathing as below: ha while breathing in, hu while breathing out. It means every ha and hu within us comes from the Almighty. By contemplation I swear, and by the beginning of the speech, by the flight of a dove from the mind, a word is in the cage. My words were as luminous as the meadow. I told them, a sun is on your doorstep. If you open the door, it will shine on your action. I also told them, stone is not the ornament of the mountain, just as metal is not the embellishment of an axe. In the palm of the earth is an unseen jewel, by whose radiance all the prophets were dazzled. Seek the jewel. Take moments to the pasture of prophecy. To them I gave the good news of the coming of the herald, the nearness of the day and the abundance of color, the resonance of the red rose behind the wall of harsh words. I told them, he who sees the garden in the memory of wood, his face will eternally remain in the swaying of the grove of fervor. He who befriends the birds of the air will have the most peaceful sleep in the world. He who gathers light from the fingertips of time will open every closed window with a sigh.